Hey everyone, welcome to Jay Walking Tours. I'm Jay, and we're going to go on a walking tour. Today, we're going to cover the financial district, and that includes Bowling Green, Wall Street, and the World Trade Center. It's 81 degrees here in New York. It's not that hot, but it can get quite humid here. I recommend a hat, t-shirt, and shorts. If you don't want to wear shorts, just wear some light pants. It will get warm. New York City traffic lights. The timing for each signal, either green, yellow, or red, is determined based on the traffic volume and traffic pattern in each particular area. But for some particular reason, I feel like this don't walk sign is taking forever to change to walk. I took the time, it took about a minute before it changed to walk. A minute doesn't seem like that long of a wait, but I don't know, it seems longer than usual for me at least. Maybe I'm just an impatient New Yorker. Now, once it turned to walk, I noticed that you have 22 seconds before your light's over. So, walk quickly. There we go again. Another guy in red trying to sell you overpriced Statue of Liberty tickets or two other tours. Just say no. Keep walking. Just say no. National Museum of the American Indian is affiliated with the Smithsonian Institution and is a tribute to Native American culture. Inside, you will find exhibits documenting Native American art, culture, life, and beliefs. This is a free museum, so hit it up. Bowling Green Park, New York's oldest and possibly tiniest public park. Rumor has it this is where the Dutch settlers paid the Native Americans an equivalent of $24 to purchase Manhattan in 1626. Was that a good deal for the Native Americans, or did we cheat them? Comment below. It should also be noted that the Native Americans, the Lenapes, had no concept of selling land. They considered themselves the stewards, not owners, of Manhattan Island, and believed that they were now sharing it with the Dutch and not selling it. Here are some fun facts about Wall Street. Wall Street got its name when Dutch settlers erected a wall to keep out attackers and wild hogs. Oh, here's another one. There are thousands of slaves buried under Wall Street. Ugh. Well, I'll explain later and it will make sense. And here's one more. The Trinity Church, located on Wall Street, owns 14 acres of Manhattan real estate, with a net income of $38 million of real estate holdings, making it the richest individual parish in the world. I guess Jesus really need that money or something. Those two guys in red, on the right, I think they're speaking Italian. Am I right? Comment below. charging bull, 11 feet tall and 7,000 pounds of bronze. It was placed permanently in Bowling Green after it mysteriously appeared in front of the New York Stock Exchange in 1989, 2 years after the 1987 stock market crash. The Charging Bull sculpture is actually an illegal piece of street art since it was illegally placed in front of the New York Stock Exchange. But people love it, so we kept it. The earliest inhabitants of Manhattan, the Lenape and Muncie Native Americans, used the land around Battery Park for hunting and fishing. A trading path was established from Battery Park leading north into Manhattan. This wide roadway is called a Broad Way and continues today as a modern avenue called Broadway. You see that guy on the left? I wonder if he's homeless. I mean, maybe he's just begging. But in either case, homelessness is an issue in New York City. While the city's tabloids spotlight mental health and drug dependency as a contributing cause of homelessness, and indeed they are, the biggest factors, particularly for the working poor, is a familiar New York story: stagnant wages and soaring rents. Between 2000 and 2014, the median New York City rent increased 19%, while household income decreased by 6.3%. In that same time period, the city homeless population more than doubled from 22,000 to 51,000. Now there are around 60,000 people in the New York City shelter system, an all-time peak. Oh man, I'm getting really tired of walking behind these two black guys. I'm gonna make my move now and pass.
More than 28 hours on his kids.
And we're gonna make a right here on Exchange Alleyway.
But if I'm around,
I swear there's always construction in New York City. I mean, look to your left. The whole side of the building is exposed. Huh, there's a Subway's franchise right there to our right. You know, Subway sandwiches and the franchise in general has really slipped recently, not only because it's due to their spokesperson, Jared Fogle, who is known as a pedophile, but also because they really oversaturate the market. Just this area around here in Wall Street and City Hall, there are 10 Subway stores. I mean, that really makes your competition really stiff when each Subway franchise is competing with its neighbor. On top of that, there's also more competition now. Quiznos, Jimmy John's, Firehouse Subs, Jersey Mike's, Potbelly sandwich shops. They're all over the city. How are you gonna compete, Subway? You're not that fresh anymore. Okay, we're gonna make a left now onto Broad Street. So the New York Stock Exchange and Federal Hall is right in front of us.
Like, I mean, it fits.
Fearless Girl. This is a bronze sculpture installed on 2017 in anticipation of International Women's Day. She's a potent symbol of female leadership in business and the need for companies everywhere to get more women on their boards and into other powerful positions. The New York Stock Exchange is home to one of the world's best-known stock exchange and is an iconic symbol of US capitalism. Fortunately, you cannot go inside after the events of 9/11. Federal Hall. There is a common misconception surrounding the history of Federal Hall in Lower Manhattan. That is the building in which George Washington was inaugurated as the nation's first president. While it is true that the building in which he was inaugurated once stood in the same location as the current Federal Hall, this new Greek Revival style building, now that stands on Wall Street, was built 139 years after the original one, where George Washington took his famous oath. The original Federal Hall was actually built in 1703 and was used as New York City's first city hall. The new Revival building is now a museum. Go in and check it out. Admission is free. Trinity Church. It was one of New York City's tallest buildings during 1846. But not anymore now, I guess, since One World Trade Center was built. A famous resident of its serene cemetery includes founding father Alexander Hamilton. He's buried here. Also at 1 p.m. every Thursday or Friday, there's a free concert. It's called Pipes at 1. Try to attend it if you can. Okay, now we're going to keep walking straight onto Nassau Street. When New York City was subject to the British Crown, there were a number of streets downtown named Queen Street, Duke Street, and other royalty titles. Pretty much all of them were wiped off the map when the United States won independence from the British in 1783. We declared independence in 1776. We won the Revolutionary War at 1783, so the war took about 7 years to win. Interesting. Anyway, I sidetracked. So in 1783, we won independence. We pretty much changed the names of these streets to our fitting. Queen Street became Pearl Street, King George Street became William Street, and Crown Street became Liberty Street. However, there are still a couple of names that are still around, such as Prince Street in Soho and Nassau Street, which is what we're standing on right now. We're about to go underneath a scaffold. Hold your breath. I know it's not a tunnel, but still, make a wish. Are you still holding your breath? Oh man, couldn't hold it. Maybe next time. Dang it. You see that white bike on the left? That's actually a ghost bike. It's part of the Street Memorial Project that honors cyclists and pedestrians that have been killed on New York City streets. The project continues to work with various groups and volunteers who, for more than a decade, have created memorials for those who have lost in crashes in New York City. The Street Memorial Project was developed in 2007 to incorporate all those people involved in creating ghost bikes and to include pedestrian memorials. We're gonna make a left on Liberty Street soon. Federal Reserve Bank of New York. If you think the Federal Reserve Building looks like an impenetrable stone building designed to guard the world's riches, then you're correct. More than 6,000 tons of gold owned by foreign governments, central banks, and international organizations are secured in a vault buried 80 feet below street level. You only see a small part of that fortune, but signing on to a free tour is the only way down. Book it several months ahead. It is well worth it. Each tour is limited to a maximum of 25 guests. Make sure to bring a passport or official ID. Ugh. The sidewalk is soaked. I hope that's water. And now we're on Liberty Street. Remember what Liberty Street used to be called before the American Revolution? Remember the British name? Crown Street, that's right. See, I knew you were paying attention. Good job. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. Wow, that's a big red cube. That's actually the Asumu Noguchi's iconic red cube at 104th Broadway in Lower Manhattan. Oh nice, look to your right, city bikes. They're great. They're great for tourists, visitors, or whoever just need a bike. If you do get it, make sure you buy the day pass, okay? The day pass, you get 24-hour access, and that only costs $12. You could also get the 3-day pass, which will give you 72 hours of access, and that costs $24. Don't buy the single ride. I know the single ride is only $3, which is much cheaper, but you have to return it within 30 minutes. And if you don't return it within 30 minutes, you're gonna get hit with a late fee. So just do yourself a favor. Buy the day pass, or buy the 3-day pass.
Hey, I'm in a video, look at that.
I'm not the fan. They love me in this city. We're still on Liberty Street. We're just crossing to the other side. Hearing all these random conversations just sometimes makes me want to just follow people randomly so I can continue on hearing what they're saying.
I was like, okay, it was really good yesterday. Okay, thank you.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they're jellies.
It's interesting to see how these trees are buried underneath the sidewalk. You can't even see the dirt. I assume they're buried in dirt.
There was a meeting that they called.
And even then, they can need
That's Engine Company 10, also known as 10 House. The firehouse was built in 1979, and on September 11th of 2001, 5 members from the 10 House made the supreme sacrifice. They gave up their lives in saving others in the World Trade Center attack. As the towers collapsed, tons of building debris fell onto the firehouse and forced its way into it, blowing out windows and doors and causing extensive damage to the facade, interior structure, utilities, lighting, and the roof. Wow, that's the One World Trade Center. It's truly beautiful. Wow. Is that guy to our right with the white cap and black pants stretching? Such a weird place to stretch, but stretch on, brother. I swear, every time I talk about 9/11 or see this memorial, I get goosebumps. Even right now, I'm getting it. It's so weird. The 9/11 Museum and Memorial is a tribute to the victims of the world's worst terrorism attack on U.S. soil. The memorial's two massive reflecting pillars are a symbol of hope and renewal, as well as a tribute to the thousands that have lost their lives. As a sign of respect, let's have a moment of silence.
That's £6.
Here are the names of those that have fallen during 9/11. May peace be upon you. I remember when 9/11 took place, I was riding on the 7 train, and we were above ground, the subway. And from a distance, you could see that there was smoke coming from the towers. People were saying that it was a crop plane that crashed into the building. I mean, I didn't think much of it. The building was so big, and a crop plane was so small that I just went along my way and went to school. By the time I got to school, man, everybody was chaos everywhere. I was going to Baruch College then, so we were next to the armory, and you could see all this military personnel getting ready for war or something. I didn't understand why. And then we heard on the news later on that two airplanes have crashed into the building, and that the buildings have collapsed. A lot of lives were lost. And yeah, they canceled class that day, and I took the subway back home, and it was weird. It was like eerie. During that subway ride back home on the 6th train, it was the quietest subway ride ever. Usually there's a lot of ambient sound or people talking, but this time it was just quiet. It was definitely a strange moment in history. There's actually a lot of police activity here, not only just uniformed NYPD, but also NYPD anti-terrorist group and heavily armed police officers, along with bomb-sniffing dogs. So if you're a terrorist, don't try anything funny. And if you're a terrorist watching my channel, unsubscribe and stop watching it, please. And this is the 9/11 Memorial North Pole. This is where the other World Trade Center tower once stood. One World Trade Center. It has 104 floors. It is the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, and it is the 4th tallest building in the world at pinnacle height. Current general admission is $35 per person. Well, that's the end of the tour, guys. Thanks for coming along. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe. Also, comment down below. Tell me what would you like to see in the future.